Hey everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Today's video is in response to Chris. He asked me about how can I improve my left hand technique, and I'm just going to kind of throw some of the techniques I've done in other videos and try and incorporate a couple new ones as well to answer his question, because you develop both hands pretty much the same. There's nothing magical about the right hand that makes it better. It's usually you're just more used to playing a lot more intricate of passages with your right hand. So when you have a piece like the Revolutionary Etude, and you have that really intricate left hand, it's a problem. And you see that all over. The left hand is usually required just as much as the right hand in a lot of pieces to jump around. And so you use the same techniques to develop both. But I'll just go over some techniques that you can use to strengthen either hand today, especially the left hand. So we'll take the Ocean Etude, for instance, in this one. So because you're moving around a lot there. I like to do rhythms, so or you can do 4 rhythms, or 5 rhythms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. And really work on that. The next thing you want to do after you've done like a series of rhythms is you want to vary your touch. And so you can do light staccatos, or you can do heavy staccatos, you can do wrist staccatos, you do high fingers, and a lot of times it's lining things up with the right hand, so I would do those rhythms and those touches together with the right hand to make sure that it really moves. Another big aspect of left hand is control, because a lot of pieces you need to be able to control your left hand. This concept is really pretty deep, and it's a little out there, I guess I'll say, but it has to do with feeling that your fingers are living organisms that kind of are breathing on their own. Each of them is like a separate entity that's breathing on its own. So this really helps in nocturnes, in really beautiful pieces like Clair de Lune, for instance. Where that left hand just has to flow. It can't be in the way. Same thing in this nocturne I'm working on right now. I've been performing this for a lot of years, and I still work on this concept. How can we get that even touch? First of all, you need to do a lot of slow practice, just matching the sound to get the control there. But how do you do that in a fast tempo? I like to think of each of my fingers, like I said, as those living organisms, and the same amount of oxygen from my lungs is traveling into each of these and breathing the same amount of oxygen, and as a result, the same amount of weight goes into each key. So you're breathing into each key, and you're thinking this vertical motion rather than dum, bum, 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 because as soon as you start being vertical, it goes out the window, It's very uneven. But if you think long, swirling lines, horizontal, that really helps it to be nice and even and flowing. I know this isn't a ton of new stuff for just the left hand, but again, I would emphasize that both hands develop the same ways. So use those rhythms, use those different touches, and think about that new concept that I presented about breathing into each key the same when you're trying to voice. The same thing in the Andante Spianato by Chopin. So you can see that same thing. You got to breathe into the left hand and feel that left hand just swell. I kind of like to think of just like this hazy line just slowly going up. That way you're not thinking individual note and then some of them poke out and some don't, because that's a hard thing that everyone, I'm convinced, still works on, is to make that left hand just seamless under a beautiful flowing right hand. I hope this has been helpful today. If anyone has any questions at all, please feel free to email me. My email is josh@joshwrightpiano.com, and I would be happy to do a video on whatever your request might be. Any level of pianist can submit a request. I don't care if it's, hey, I'm learning my C major scale and I'm having a hard time with fingering or whatever it might be. And if it's complicated enough, or if you want me to do a video on it, I'd be happy to. So I appreciate everybody watching, and for all of the dedicated people that keep sending me the requests. That keeps me going. This project's been really fulfilling, and so I hope that this has been helpful, and I hope to hear from you. Thanks.